killer who shot a teenage couple as they sat in a car. Demir Robinson just graduated last year. Savannah Fulmer was a high school senior. We're now getting insight from one of her softball coaches. Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez is live in Henry County, where police found the teenagers. Taisha?
Wendy, it was right here on New Orleans Way in the City Square subdivision where neighbors first noticed the car. Let me show you where they saw it. They said it was right here in this spot. And when they first saw it, they thought the teens were sleeping inside, but then they realized the teens were dead.
To me, it just looked weird.
Jamie Aldonado left his house early on Thanksgiving morning to grab a couple things from the store. He saw this gray car just sitting on New Orleans Way around 9 a.m. in front of his house and thought some teens were probably sleeping inside. Another neighbor actually walked up to the car and looked inside.
And as I approached the car, immediately I saw that the passenger male had a bullet wound to the temple.
Police say it was 19-year-old Demir Robinson dead in the passenger seat. His girlfriend, Savannah Fulmer, was also dead in the driver's seat. Police say someone murdered them both, but they're not sure if it happened in this subdivision or not.
There was no bullet holes in the car, nothing. Like it just.
And you didn't hear any gunshots?
Nothing at all. And my son's room was right in front of the house. He didn't hear nothing.
Savannah was on a softball team at Eagles Landing High School. I spoke to one of her coaches, Brittany Lewis. She didn't want to talk on camera, but said, quote, Savannah was one of the most memorable kids I will ever coach. She always did everything I asked of her, not always with a smile, but always with respect. Savannah was set to graduate this year, and her boyfriend Demir had already graduated last year from Woodland High School. Their friends want to know who did this, also their family. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers. We're live in Henry County. Taisha Fernandez, Channel 2 Action News.
And those families definitely do want to find some closure and some answers to all of this, Taisha. Hopefully someone will step up with information. Thank you.
Good morning, my faithful loyal YouTube subscribers. Today it is Tuesday, December 3rd. The year is 2019. So on Thanksgiving Day, 2 teenagers were found shot and killed in their car outside a home in Henry County. Henry County is a upscale, well, it's a middle class county on the south side of town that is going through, it's one of the largest growing counties in Georgia. Fastest growing counties in Georgia. A lot of Black Americans are moving in there, buying beautiful homes. I've looked at houses that I personally could never live down there. It's too far away from the city. But you have a huge group of Black Americans moving into those communities. Maybe they're moving there because of the home prices, the schools are maybe better. The neighborhoods are beautiful. The area is going through rapid change. You have a lot of people moving into the Atlanta metropolitan area from all over the United States. So you have a lot of good people and you have a lot of bad people moving to Atlanta. This news article about these 2 kids getting shot and killed on Thanksgiving Day kind of saddened me, because we've gotten so used to so much violence in the Black community that it was no big deal. 2 teenagers in the prime of their lives, one in college, one in a senior in high school, shot and killed in a car on Thanksgiving morning, and not one word was really said about this in the Black community. It's like people just didn't care. It was on the news, they reported it, but there was no outrage, no anger, no questions being asked, no nothing. We've accepted this violence as if it was just another ordinary day in our communities. We don't seem to care anymore. What could these 2 teenagers have possibly done that ended up in them being shot dead? What could have caused this? What could have been done? What could they have been doing? Who did this crime? And I hope that they're able to resolve this issue and figure out who did this. But it's sad because you have 2 people who were doing something positive with their lives. Now, they have not said that this was a murder-suicide. And they said there were no bullet holes in the car or nothing, so that the shootings took place in the car. The couple had been dating for 3 years. So they've known each other for years. Who could, was this an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, a hater, or someone who just didn't like them, or what? Was it a robbery attempt? What took place? What could have been going on that required this level of brutality and violence towards these two teenagers? You know, I don't have any children, and I never wanted any children for this reason, because I knew when I moved to Atlanta years ago and I looked around as Atlanta was changing right in front of my eyes, this is a violent, dangerous place, because you had people coming in from Chicago, New York, New Jersey, and these weren't good people. These were bad people. They were leaving those cities where they were their lives were in disarray. You know, you got a lot of people who moved into the Atlanta metropolitan area for some horrible places, rough neighborhoods in Chicago, Detroit, New York, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., a lot of people from D.C., New Orleans. We must not forget that flood that took place down there, the Hurricane Katrina, when it destroyed New Orleans. A lot of those people moved into this area, and the crime rate shot sky high. So if you have a lot of bad people migrating to one city, you're going to see some very violent crimes. In DeKalb County, it's the violence in South DeKalb County, another predominantly black middle-class neighborhood. The violence has hundreds of people have been killed this year. So the violence has gotten out of hand. There's so many people been shot and killed in DeKalb County. It's out of control. And no one's saying anything. No one's doing nothing. We just accept it and just go on about it just like it's just a regular day. And it's scary to me. You know, I don't go out into certain areas, especially particularly at nighttime. And this time of the year, because the time change, the sun sets very early and it gets dark outside. So I make sure I try to do everything during the daytime. And even that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be safe. Because there's a lot of stuff that's just going crazy in our communities, and the violence has reached epic proportions. And we sit back and we say nothing. We just accept it as if it's just everyday. It's just there's nothing, no reason to. It just is what it is. So I saw that news report and I wanted to say something about it because it saddened me. You know, you have two young teenagers who were doing something positive with their lives, who are no longer here because someone decided to kill them for no reason. Or a reason we don't know of yet. There is no reason to have tried to kill those kids. We all know that was just murder for no reason. They just did it out of hate. Violence, ignorance, drugs. It's actually said. It's said that this took place. Frightening, and it's indicative of the problems that that's taking place in our communities. It is very frightening, scary. And you just wonder what will become of all of this. When will these neighborhoods, how much violence can we, how much more violence will we allow to take place to our young members of our communities? How much violence before somebody stands up and says, we really need to do something to try to figure out what's going on here? What can be done? I don't know. But when you see crime taking place in the suburbs, far miles away from the city of Atlanta, in beautiful neighborhoods, that's supposed to be safe. I've seen some horrible crimes in Henry County, Rockdale County, Newton County, Douglasville. These are all areas where black folks are migrating to and moving in large numbers, and the crime rate has skyrocketed. DeKalb County used to be one of the... DeKalb County, when I moved to Atlanta in 1989, had one of the best school systems and one of the safest counties in the state. It isn't that way anymore. The school system almost lost accreditation a few years ago, and the crime is off the chain over in South DeKalb. It just don't make no sense. It's dangerous out there. It is dangerous. So, I really don't know what to say. You try to make sense of all this stuff, but it's hard to make sense of it when there's so much violence everywhere. So, scary to a degree. You want to see things improve in our communities, but this is 2000. We're going into 2020, and in many black neighborhoods the longer I've lived in Atlanta, the worse these neighborhoods. The violence has really increased. Now, some neighborhoods have improved, of course. Inner city neighborhoods that are going through gentrification. Old Fourth Ward is a very prime example of a once dangerous neighborhood. West End is improving drastically. You got Old Fourth Ward, West End, parts of East Atlanta, Kirkwood, Edgewood. All those areas have improved, and the violence has subsided because of gentrification only. And, we all know gentrification just moves people out to further parts of the city where they can be violent. The violence just moves from one area to another area, basically. That's what happens. But it's dangerous. Some of these African American black neighborhoods in Atlanta are dangerous, and it shouldn't be that way. That's why I refuse to live in those neighborhoods. I don't care if the houses cost $200, $300, $400, $500. It doesn't matter. The violence just seems to follow this. There's a subdivision here in Guilford Forest. They've had so many break-ins and home invasions and killings. They're like, well, Guilford Forest is a beautiful subdivision of $500 to $1 million homes and up. But it's dangerous out there now, and it shouldn't be. You drive through there, it's beautiful, but you have to be very careful out there at nighttime. They have cameras and alarms all over the place because there's just so much violence going on out there in South Fulton County. And there's another thing, too. I saw people come on my page and say the media portrays blacks as violence and blah, 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 blah. I personally know of events that have taken place in Atlanta that never made the news. Violent, dangerous crimes, crazy shit that took place. It was never even reported. They can't report everything. It's impossible. So they choose the story that they choose. There were some heinous crimes that took place in Atlanta, and people don't understand this, but it never made the news. You wouldn't know unless you heard about it or there to see it. So it's sad, and we just, like I said, we accept this violence as if it is just normal. There's no outrage. There aren't any people asking questions. No one's asking, why did these children die? The police are over there scratching their head. I'm sure they're investigating, and we might get some answers to these questions very soon. Probably some DNA evidence left behind. Something, like a camera probably got something. We don't know. The police are investigating, so hopefully they will find out what took place. But I thought this story was very sad. I'm disappointed that on Thanksgiving Day, 2 children lost their lives. Their families are upside down in pain. And to me, I don't think our community, the black community as overall, they're just not saying nothing. It's like they don't care. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. And I love to hear you all's thoughts and opinions of what you thought about this situation, if you heard about it, if you're just not hearing about it. And it just makes you wonder, how much more violence can our communities take? How do we improve this situation? Is it even possible to improve this situation? I don't know. Today I'm going to get dressed and go to the gym. They got some construction going on in my neighborhood. They've turned off all the water. And then they said at some point, I don't know why, but they said their electricity is going to be off for a few hours. I said, electricity is going to be off. I'm going to get the hell out of this damn house here. It's going to be colder than motherfucking here. I said, the electricity is going to be off. Why? They said, well, the electricity is going to be off for a few hours. So I said, well, let me get dressed and get the hell out of here, because this is my apartment. It's totally electric. There's no gas furnace here. That electricity goes going to be cold as hell in this damn house. It's cold outdoors today. And it's cold. They were knocking on the door saying the water and electricity going to be off. I said, they already turned the water off. And I'm just waiting for the electricity to go off. But I'm about to get dressed and get out of here anyway. I already took my shower and stuff. So I'm get out of this cold motherfucker. I come back here when the electricity back on. Go find me something to eat, breakfast someplace. Anyway, today is Tuesday, December 3rd, the year is 2019. And I'm out of here, and enjoy your Tuesday.